Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast. Introducing your host from New York, here is Sam Roberts.
Let's get started.
Let's do it.
The Miz and Summer Rae have entered into the studio.
How amazing this is for you.
This is incredible.
Is this the best moment of your life?
I think
Ever?
so. Yeah.
Stop it.
I mean, Miz,
Keep telling me.
you've been here, never together. I've
Never
talked to both
together.
of you separately,
Thank goodness.
but never together.
I
No.
know. Now this is a whole different dynamic. Now
Completely.
she's not going to shut up. I've been making this analogy, by the way.
Here we go. This is
So, remember James Franco and Anne Hathaway on the 2011 Oscars?
Yeah, they did not do well.
They did not do well.
Yeah.
Now, have you
Yeah.
ever heard the reasoning behind this? I once listened to Howard, and Howard was interviewing James Franco, and Franco was like, she was such a big personality that he had to really dumb himself down, like really downplay everything.
First time he said
And
dumb himself
so-
down all day.
And so he had to like really just be the low level person,
Because
like,
otherwise you're just fighting for that.
exactly, you're fighting
Yeah.
for the whole thing. So today, normally I am Anne Hathaway, but
Right.
today I'm James Franco.
Which is dope.
Which
I mean,
is
James
very
Franco's
great.
the man.
Yeah,
And
he's great.
he's a super babe. So I said, first of all, he's not James Franco.
Ouch.
My wife would beg to differ.
No, your wife's smoking hot.
I
too.
know. How did I get her? If
I
I'm
don't
so,
know.
If I'm so non-dreamy.
No, because
Isn't
you
that-
have a good personality. You're successful. It's like a wrestling thing.
Is that what it is?
You know?
It's successful. Like
Like,
good
you're
personality and
successful.
successful.
No,
You're in.
Right.
You're
You know?
That's what I've
successful-
learned.
you're
Women
suc-
love a good personality.
But you're successful within a business that she had respect for, too. So it's like a different playing field. You
Is
had
it?
something to offer, and
So
she
you're telling
respects
me
that
if I
craft.
was in New York, I couldn't get like a really pretty girl out here.
No, you could. I'm just joking.
Oh,
Not
good.
outside of the
I
wrestling
just-
industry.
I
now
just
we're
really
all
like
changing.
James
Now
Franco.
things change.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I just really
kidding.
like James Franco, and I'm trying to put it out there.
Were you getting a lot of respect in the locker room when you started dating Maryse for the first time?
I don't think no one knew. We kept it a secret.
Yeah.
We made sure that nobody knew, and it was a long time. And my friends started
long?
finding out, and then started messing with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think many people knew for like probably, I think we were dating for 2 years before anyone knew.
That's why it's exciting. It's secret.
See that?
Yeah,
Yes.
see, it's like fun. It's
Right.
naughty. Like you can't say anything.
Right.
Yeah.
We're doing something bad.
Were you watching other wrestlers flirt with her knowing? Like they're going to try because
Yeah.
they think she's single.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is
it was
the
great.
tea. You're
and the
getting
best
that
part is
juicy
she's
tea.
coming with me.
Right, because you know.
I know. Yeah, it was fantastic.
But
I
was
love
there
it.
ever
I
a
like
moment
that.
where
I don't
you
get jealous though. Like,
don't?
I'm not a jealous person. No.
I
When
wouldn't
you
think
look
for
like
that.
this and-
I would
and
think he's
have the
totally
personality.
jealous, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I would think you were.
Yeah.
Why?
Like you're confident, but I think she's such a babe that
There's
Uh,
also
she's-
there's something about you, Miz, where you're constantly trying to up yourself and prove people wrong, right?
Yes.
And so you would think that would come along with some form of jealousy, like, oh,
Or
now I got to fight this guy.
territorial.
Now I got to prove this guy wrong. Territorial. Yes.
like if she's at a bar and someone just walks up, it's like, what are you doing?
No, I look at it as a
I'm not
compliment.
jealous, but
Right.
I always looked at it as like a really big compliment when someone was hitting on her. Like even to this day, when people hit on her, I'm like, they should hit on her.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
gorgeous.
I'll hit on her.
And that is
And that's
also
the
how you
trust
get
as well.
but that's also how chicks become attracted to you is that if you're the guy just sitting back there, just like knowing, like I don't have to do that. She's
Yeah.
coming home
Yeah.
with me. Like you could, I'm literally letting you do whatever you want. Try your hardest. It's not going to work.
Yeah, confidence is sexy.
Right.
I like
Right.
that we're changing your mind. We're just changing all your whole thing.
She's
Hey,
literally
it's just-
falling in love with you.
I
It's
know.
so
First time
God.
I'm horrible. I'm no James Franco, and now all of a sudden it's like,
No,
well, you're good. Well,
it
you're
wasn't
good
about-
looking. Well, you have a good personality. Well,
Listen.
yeah, you're successful. Oh, yeah, okay.
Mike, it wasn't about you. It was just all about James Franco. Also,
and
I
you
take
have
the
lipstick on your teeth. So
Damn,
thanks.
I told you all day to
You
tell
told
me
me
that.
yeah, exactly, and I just told you on air.
Yeah.
At least no one saw. Oh wait, we're videotaping.
We
this?
are the whole thing. Everybody saw. A lot of people saw.
Hey, so I'll tell you, I've listened to your podcast a little bit while cleaning the house.
Really?
Makes for a good listen while
I'm
cleaning
glad
the
that
house.
you're the guy that people listen to when they clean the house.
Look, as long as they're listening, you know that.
You know, because you're like busy mopping, and so Maryse probably cleans your house, so you don't have to.
No, we have maids.
Touche.
That's some of that charm.
But
At
it
my
was good.
mansion, we have maids while you clean your apartment.
Yeah. No, I clean. I'm old school. I ride the train.
You do?
I have no shame in this game, no. But I listened to the one with Roman after the Rumble.
That one got a lot of
It was
internet people
good.
upset.
Yeah.
A lot.
Why?
Because Roman came on and said,
And
I
they
mean,
thought
he
WWE made you put him
Yeah.
on to get him over.
I mean, I was flattered because the internet thought that WWE had literally sent Roman to my podcast to turn heel. To start.
No one is listening.
That's exactly what WWE
Right.
does. How can we? Let's give him the Sam Roberts.
It was a Vince call. He's like, God damn it, we gotta get him on Sam Roberts' podcast.
I mean,
That's a great Vince. You do a
That's how we
solid
make him
Vince.
heel.
Yeah.
We don't put him on our Raw show.
No.
There's millions upon millions of people watching on national television.
No. Yeah, our new main event guy. Let's get him on Sam Roberts' show.
Yeah.
Because he came on and he was kind of being a person as opposed to, a character. And he was saying that he was, whether fans boo him or cheer him or whatever, he's just hoping that he's going to make some money and buy his family a house.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Was
That's
that
noble.
during the snowstorm in Connecticut when we were stranded?
Yeah.
Because
it was around that time.
He did when the Raw didn't air, he did the backstage interview.
Yeah.
And he was very just himself, and it was one of the best interviews he's ever given because he just talked off the cusp. Yeah.
But a lot of people got pissed at him who were listening, going like, "Whoa, what are you supposed to care about the
WWE,
fans?"
the WWE fans and the bloggers and the Twitter people, they all think they know everything about the WWE and what it takes to be a WWE superstar. And they think they know what's right.
Right.
Everyone
And
just
they're
needs to calm
entitled
down.
to their opinions. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. That is no problem. But the fact is, Roman Reigns works hard. And if it wasn't for it's like a lot of things you read is like the system is giving him the push and yada yada yada, and it's like, who cares if it is or it isn't?
Take it.
The guy is talented. The guy is good at what he does. If the WWE ignored him, they would love him even more.
Yeah.
It's like they like people that's like, we made him. Daniel Bryan, we made him.
Yeah.
When he was quote unquote getting, backhanded by the WWE, oh, they don't like him, they don't see him as a main event. I was like, this is perfect for Daniel because the fans are just going to group together and love him even more. Like, give him more and more stuff to make people think that you're just going to, degrade Daniel Bryan.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep pushing him down because
and then
they're just going to raise up.
Oh, I'm being smart and I know. It's like, you don't know.
Or even if management does give you the ball and you get an opportunity, you still have to do something with it.
Yeah.
You can still not perform, and Roman has, and a lot of guys have.
Do you think that Roman would have left WrestleMania with the title had there not been so much backlash? Or do you think this was all
I think it was perfectly
orchestrated?
I think it was well done. That WrestleMania will go down as one of the greatest WrestleManias ever.
And that was kind of what I thought too, that you look at WrestleMania 30 and people left that going, this was one of the best WrestleManias ever. And going into 31, most people were saying this is not going to be a good show. This is not going to be a good WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And people left kind of unanimously going, this is one of the best WrestleManias of all time. It was really weird that there was this kind of odd build up for it that left the fans kind of going, But then at the end of the night, everybody was like, that was incredible.
At the end of the day, they
Yeah.
That was
all
incredible.
loved it. Yep.
Yeah.
I got
didn't
to watch
see
it,
very many bad reviews. It was very well received.
It was.
I got to watch it from one of the WWE Studios box. And Michael Luisi from the studios invited me up, and a couple of us went up there. And I was like, I'm not on the show. I'm just going to go enjoy as a fan. And it's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's just so cool to just step back and be a fan. Like,
So you were able to do that? You weren't like kind of sitting up there going like, I should be on this show.
No, I don't, because I also don't like to know the finishes. I don't want to know anything, especially the Divas match. I was like, I think I know what's going to happen, but I don't want to know. And
You shouldn't be a WWE diva then if you're not sitting up there going,
Of course-
I need to be on this show.
Of course I want
mean-
it to be me, but it's not like I'm going to do a run-in.
Right, but,
Yeah,
you could just be up there kind of just like sulking though.
But what good is it going to do for me to sulk? Like, I love my job.
Uh-huh.
If I'm not on this next year, I will be. And so me sulking is going to do nothing unless I'm going to turn it into something. Most people that sulk and are bitter turn it into nothing. So
Well, like you were talking about, Roman working hard. But as a guy who was in the main event and took a lot of heat for being in the main event from
still
fans.
do it to this day.
Yeah. Do you sit there looking at who's in the main event thinking it should be you?
I always think it should be me. I'm just one of those people that I strive into working as hard as I possibly can to getting there again.
Mm-hmm.
You always want to go back to the main event of WrestleMania. Some people never make it in their entire life, and I've had the opportunity to do that. And now it's like you go in there and you just hope that you can find the right. I guess I don't know if it's the right story or if the right build, the right something. Something needs to happen to where you really start feeling it and you can feel the momentum going your way.
Yeah. I guess you have to kind of wait until your moment comes.
Yeah,
you can't just want to get the main event every time.
Everything.
Yeah.
You look at any career in anything, actors, you see them go way up high and then you see them go way down and then you see them go in the middle, and it's like, they're doing big budgets, they're doing indies, they're here, there, everywhere. Same with WWE. You go up, you go down, you go middle. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you're a team. You're a team, and everyone's trying to make the best show possible on Raw, SmackDown, main event, Superstars, whatever it is. You're trying to make the best show possible and do the best thing for your character.
How'd you feel about the Miz Mizdow thing finally? Because I was waiting for, I think probably in December is when I started saying I'm ready for a Miz Mizdow winner gets the gimmick match.
They were scared that it was going to happen. Then,
yeah, I was like,
you're like, no, this is working.
It's too soon. Let's do it. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I beat him and the thing is, I wanted the fans to know that it's on them. They did this. They made him
That was
turn.
one of those.
This is one of those things that I know exactly what's going to happen because I've seen it happen before. Do we remember a character named Alex Riley, where everyone told him to turn on me, that he was better than me, that he can do the things that I couldn't? They were chanting his name, and then he turned on me. He did exactly what they wanted, and then what happened? 3 months later, he was fighting to get on TV, and the crowd could care less about him. So this is where it angers me about the WWE Universe, because I know what's going to happen. They're going to tell Damien, we want Mizdow, let's go Mizdow. Mizdow's better than the Miz. Mizdow's the one. He's the champion, yada, yada, yada. It's on them, because now that he has turned on me,
right.
now it's their job to keep him at the level that they respect him at right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to happen because they forget. Look at people like Zack Ryder. You don't think Zack Ryder still works as hard as possible to be over with this WWE Universe? But they forgot about him because I don't know why.
So you get legit annoyed when you watch these kind of underdog dudes become crowd favorites, and then the crowd just forgets, and then the writers,
next little
creative didn't have anything for them from the beginning.
That's why I always stick to who I am and what I do, and I just shove it right back in their faces
because they're never going to forget to hate you.
Yeah, because I can make them hate me like that. You know what I mean? But and I can make them love me in the same sense as well. But the problem is they just. They think they know everything, and now I'm very curious to see if Damien Sandow succeeds or fails, because I did everything I could to make him succeed. We did everything we possibly could. Now it's up to the WWE Universe, so it's up to them, and you don't have high expectations. What's going to happen, because let's put it this way, they do it all the time to all these WWE superstars, and this is their life, this is their career, and it's not like they're changing anything. It's not like they're working any less hard.
Right.
It's just,
it's the flavor of the week.
It's the flavor of the week.
Right.
And that was my little rant.
I love it.
Did you love it?
You're going to get the internet so fired up on that one.
I'd never get the internet fired up. You know what's funny? The internet's always like, we know everything, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what would be really cool? You know what would make you a real visionary?
What?
If you supported me. Because that would make you different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
the internet's always trying to be different. And
Yeah.
they're always trying to be like, oh, I'm going for the guy that's the underdog. I am the underdog.
Yeah.
I'm the ultimate underdog.
Right.
But,
I mean, I don't want to call myself a visionary. I'm not sitting here to toot my own horn. But I've told you before, I went to Royal Rumble in Philly.
Well,
I was the only person in a Miz t-shirt in the entire.
I appreciate that.
And you know what I wore?
You're also the guy that made Roman Reigns a heel. So
That's true. That's true. Wow. And you know what I wore to WrestleMania? I think I just do things to get people upset.
Philly
I
crowd.
wore my Brie Mode t-shirt to WrestleMania. So
Nice.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Summer, what about you?
Yes.
You've definitely had to take criticism as one of the divas and coming up, and people. It seems like with the divas, way more than with the male superstars, that especially in the past, you guys have kind of gotten thrown on TV and into the ring without a ton of training, and you kind of learn in front of massive amounts of people.
Yeah. For me, I was lucky because I came at a good time, and being at FCW, I really cherished that time because there was only 5 of us. And so I was the 6th person, and I was in there with people like Paige, Ivelisse, Christina, Alicia Fox's sister, people that had been wrestling for years, and they all helped me and took me under. I think the person with the least amount of experience when I was there was maybe like 11 months. So everyone was still had a lot on me. So it's great. And now with NXT in the Performance Center, I didn't really get to be down there too much. They always opened their doors for me when I was down there. It was hard with filming Total Divas. I kept trying to go in, and I lived there in Orlando for another year to continue to train. But with Total Divas on your days off, they suck everything out of you. So so for me, now they have like 20 some girls down there, and it seems like I really benefited from that one-on-one training. And then being able to come up here, and I was so fortunate with your love, Fandango.
Yes, my love.
That was your love.
Yes.
That's how
is.
That's how I first met you.
I know.
With the Dango.
Yeah.
And I just said you had great hair. I just remember that's...
I remember. I'll never forget that.
Never forget that.
I would never, ever forget
coming
that.
from me. Never forget that. But so... being up on the road with Fandango for a year, that was so, so valuable for me. I was able to see and hear the guys putting the matches together, working, putting storylines together, and it's easy. When the guys do it, it's easy. You hear them and you go, that's it? That's all it is? And for some reason, sometimes as the girls, we make it really hard.
Well, what's the disconnect?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's, you know what, I think because we don't have a lot of, we didn't used to have a lot of story time and a lot of time on TV. There was no characters. It was just, hey, you're a bad guy, you're a good guy. And who's going to really boo a pretty girl with TNA? So it's like, for you to elicit that actual boo and hatred as a woman.
Insinuating that you have TNA?
No, actually.
Is that what you were doing right there?
No, I'm just saying in general.
I think she just called herself the TNA.
No, I'm just saying.
The WWE.
Oh, no, I didn't mean like that. But so...
it's there, though.
Oh, it's there.
Right. It's there.
So for me to have NXT when I was up with Fandango, I was worried about getting rusty and not having that time. But yeah, it's just different. I don't know. I love going down to NXT and having those matches down there because we get that time, we get that backstage.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stick to the scripts. You can kind of go off the script and feel your character, and it's encouraged instead of...
Well, are you watching people like, okay, Paige comes up and Emma comes up.
Yeah.
And then you have, Sasha Banks and Charlotte down there. And these are women that are on a different level. Like, these are women that appear to be getting trained way more like the guys. Like, they're trained to be wrestlers as opposed to TNA.
Right.
Are you sitting there going like, I've got to up my game if this is the next generation coming up?
Absolutely. And I love working with any of them because they make me want to step it up. Like Paige and I, when we had our rivalry in NXT, some of my favorite matches, we had double segs. It was the first time I ever had that. And she's so experienced in the ring, and we can absolutely kill each other because we're good friends. And when you have that, like, oh, she won't be mad behind my back, and you have that kind of rapport, it's nice. So yeah, I love getting in the ring with Natty. Natty makes me work a whole different way, and it makes me want to do better. And we get in the ring and train all the time. Just because we're not posting it on Instagram and Twitter every day that we're training, we get to the ring every day before live events, and we get in the ring with Fit and with Scotty, and a lot of the boys get in there with us. So yeah, just because we're not talking about it, we still are training.
Miz, what did the guys think of the Give Divas a Chance hashtag thing that went kind of nuts a month or so ago?
I'm always a big supporter of Divas on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. The reason being is whenever I'm flipping through a channel and I see beautiful women like being athletic and speaking intelligently, that's attractive to me. I guarantee I'm going to stop and just watch it.
Like, what is this?
Yeah, like, what is this?
Yeah.
Now, if they're getting more time than I am, that upsets me because I'm like, wait a second.
When there's
here.
double sex for
give them a chance,
Summer
give me a chance.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You know. But no, I'm always a big. I always enjoy having females involved. I think relationships. Whenever you see a relationship in WWE and you see a guy and a girl about to kiss, you're intrigued. You can't take your eyes off of the television, or you see them getting slapped,
or based on storylines that we've seen kind of recently, a girl and a girl about to kiss.
My favorite was Stephanie McMahon and The Rock at WrestleMania 31, and Stephanie like honing the Rock down.
Yeah.
And Rock getting out of the ring, about to walk away, and then the Ronda comes out, and I was like, that's what it's all about, that kind of relationship. Like, what are you gonna do? Hit me? Like, how many guys have heard that and basically was just like, well, I can't do anything now. This sucks.
Well, and it's so it's
gotta
so
hang out with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah. But everyone relates to that. Not everyone knows what a body slam feels like, but everyone's had their heart broken. Everyone's had a crush on a girl.
Everyone's had a metaphoric body slam.
Well, yes, or stubbed your toe. Sometimes that hurts worse. But
but I can imagine shin on the coffee table. Sucks.
For me, like the Give Divas a Chance, it's not just let's have double seg matches, let's have longer matches. It's about getting a character over. Like I want to work with a guy. I want to be in the relationship.
Look what I did for Summer. I gave her a chance.
Everybody's talking about Summer today.
TV.
And now you leave
now
for the movie.
She's on the cover of the Marine 4 Moving Target DVD because I allowed it.
Right.
That is true. I owe everything to
right.
him.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think for a diva in the WWE, there's so many things we can do. It's not just wrestling. We could be a general manager. We could be able to be on the microphone, to be on Miss TV with him and have my microphone for the first time ever. I did that so many times in NXT. It's just, and I understand if it's live TV, it's maybe something that they don't maybe trust with right now, and you have to earn that. And I'm all about that. That's fine. Let's earn it on maybe smaller things like main event, superstars.
But so what happens now? Because based on what I saw in the WWE app, it sounds to me like Miz is going back to Hollywood.
I would agree with you.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Why wouldn't I go back to Hollywood?
Of
I'm never
course.
respected here.
Of course, I align with him and he leaves.
That's what I was going to say. Like, Summer turns on Mizdow.
Yeah.
Joins The Miz.
And she's in a movie.
So Mizdow's set as a huge
coming out
babyface
today.
Right.
On DVD
Marine
and
4.
Blu-ray.
Enough said. What else do I have to do? What else do
Also
I have
on
to
digital
give her?
HD.
How
April
much
10.
more do you want me to give?
What does Summer
this
do
diva?
now if you're going to do another movie?
Oh, no, that doesn't matter. Don't worry.
she'll figure it
Everyone
out.
else is taken care of. I mean, no, it was great to just be, it was a short-lived thing, but it was great to be a part of it. And plus...
And who's to say that it's ended? No one really knows what's going to happen next.
That's true.
So, I am going to go off and I'm going to go to Hollywood where I'm respected and loved and cheered. What's amazing is when I go on set, people actually enjoy me being on set rather than me getting booed out of the building and told how much I suck and that we would rather have a stunt double than the leading man. So it's kind of nice when your stunt double actually does what you want him to do.
I will vouch for him. He is a different person on set. He was
Miz?
very nice and helpful. Not that you're not nice backstage, but yeah, it was for me being.
I'm a method actor.
Right.
Right,
yeah, the Marine's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
For me to be going into the film 20 days, I was like, how are we ever going to do this film in 20 days? That's insane. It was nice to know that he was going to be there. If I had silly questions that I didn't want to ask someone else, but then also me being part of the bad guys, him being part of the good guys, we weren't on set all the time together.
Right.
So it was nice. I still could make my own friends, be my own person, but I knew that if I wanted to
she was so funny
him,
on set.
She was hilarious.
Oh, Sam, you have no idea how funny.
Oh my gosh, how many
why don't
times
you
are you
tell
going to
Sam
tell
how funny
this?
you were on set?
Were you funny?
Oh,
Okay,
she
hilarious.
was. Mike, you have no idea. I was so funny.
Oh, she told
today.
you how funny she was.
She came up to me.
I don't remember this story, by the way.
So her whole group is like 6 dudes and her.
Mercenaries.
And she
I was the
walks
only
up
chick
to
the
me.
whole
She
time.
goes, "Oh my god, I was so funny today. I was just so on. I don't even know what it was." And I go,
Totally putting myself over.
Were you were the only one there, right? You were the only girl,
right?
And she's like, yes. And I go, so there were 6 guys staring at a pretty girl,
right?
Saying something that was.
You mean the hot blonde in tight pants with a big gun was getting laughs? I don't know. I must have been you were hilarious.
Wow,
in the tank and
so
push-up bra? What? I
Yeah.
go, no. And I was like, oh.
And then
I was like, no, but it was really funny.
You should have saw her realize for the first time that,
it like
that's
hit me.
what happened.
It's like a crush. I was like Bambi. I was like, no.
I sometimes wonder if like hot girls do get that reality check at any point. Like if they get that crisis of conscience. Like, wait a minute.
I'm pretty funny in general.
I might offer nothing, and everybody's just been telling me how great I am because I'm hot.
This is just great. It only gets you so far. My mom always used to say, listen, if you can get the oil change at 20% off, get it off, you know?
Right.
Whatever. You're not going to be like that forever.
If you got it, flaunt it.
Hey, if you got it.
Right. Use it until you lose it.
If you got it, smack
Look at you,
Miz,
you're just
kiss
coming them all.
Mizdow.
You're coming up
I
with
know
them
all of them.
You
Yeah.
have all of them. That's good.
Yeah. Because, I come from the same world, obviously. I've gotten by on my looks primarily.
Sure.
My body.
What is your best pickup line? Your go-to? Hit me.
I just say "what's the haps" to people a lot.
What's the haps?
What's
That's
the
so
haps?
cool.
Thank you.
You're so funny.
Oh, I know.
You're
I'm
so
just
funny.
It's a little quirky sometimes, you know.
God, you're so on today.
I hate you. I didn't know what that was till you said it to Fandango.
Hey, nobody knows what it is. It's nothing.
He says it.
He does?
Sometimes, yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
He stole it from me.
Stealing stuff.
He stole it 100% from
He probably
me.
uses it and gets
material,
girls.
man.
He
And
probably
then-
does.
Well, you helped him then.
And it's definitely just a line with him. It's just my line. What do you think? Like, how do you? Because it used to be a thing in WWE where you didn't want to give up your spot. Your spot. You don't want to leave because there's so many spots. You don't want to give up your spot. Now, WWE does reality shows with Total Divas, and they have a film division. So you're leaving for months at a time to do movies and stuff. How do you figure out what the best route is to have a career in WWE? Because you're leaving for months at a time, but you're leaving to do a WWE movie.
I think if you're talented and you're good enough and you work hard enough that you can do anything and come back and be absolutely fine. Look at Jericho. Jericho, comes back, every 3 or 4 months, 6 months, and everyone absolutely loves him. And sometimes you need that break. The audience needs that break.
Right. That's
Because
it's like an instant refresher.
I mean, if you remember, I remember when I was on Main Event, the CW Vortex show, the kids show, SmackDown, Raw. I was on every single show, every single time, every single week, and people were just like, "Jesus, we hear him talk on."
Zack
Main
Ryder's
Event
just
for
sitting
an
there
hour.
like no matches. There's
Yeah.
not one that I could jump
but
in
sometimes
on.
you're too saturated. People see you too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
And so you need to be, strategically done. And I'm a person that I'm very rarely ever injured. There hasn't been.
Is that 'cause-
Jeez, knock on something.
I don't need to knock on wood. I don't get injured.
Is that because of your style?
I don't know what I'm not a high flyer. What are you trying to say, Sam?
Because you
not-
don't
my
do
style.
anything?
I
What's
don't
my
know.
style, Sam?
I'm not a
Tell me
wrestler.
my style,
Is that because you
Sam.
don't sell anything? What are we saying?
All I'm saying,
You
look.
tell me about my style, Sam.
Look, Ric Flair didn't get injured that much either, right?
Okay.
And he's
Hey.
one of the greatest of all time. You do the figure four, you do the what did it
Way
What
to
does he
cover
do?
yourself.
What is it?
Compare me to Ric Flair. Way to cover yourself. Look at you.
Take it.
Yeah. Figure four, full Nelson pancake face.
Skull crushing finale.
The skull
Thank you very
crushing
much.
finale.
Thanks for paying
Obviously.
attention.
These are moves that maybe are less of a risk to you.
No, I
all I'm saying.
don't know why. It's just one of those things that I've been very fortunate that I don't. But the thing is, I'm never gone. Whenever a guy's gone for a certain amount of time, like 6 months, and he comes back, the audience goes, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever!"
Right.
Head blows and everything like that.
Right.
So sometimes you need those breaks, to get in. So going to a movie to leave for 5 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever, how long I leave for, is good. It gives the audience a break from me, and trust me, I guarantee they'll agree with me when I say they need it.
The good thing too about I guess nowadays is social media. When I got the call to be the first diva in a movie, I didn't think twice about leaving Fandango. Sorry, Dango. I told him, but it didn't hit me like, oh, I'll lose my space. I was just like, oh my gosh, what a huge opportunity. I never fathomed I could ever be in a movie. For me, I wanted to be a diva. That was it.
Right.
And I almost feel silly that I didn't make higher goals for myself once I achieved that. I was just good with it. I was like, I'm Dango's girl. This is great. So when we weren't even going to break up, and then the day I left for Vancouver, Vince, we had pitched it before, and then Vince goes, oh, we'll break her up and we'll go with Layla. So he breaks up with me on social media, and then we had this public breakup, which I exposed. I went through the phases of, girl, I was happy, then I was angry and sad, then I was crying, then I was eating too much on Twitter. So it was funny, and fans were totally into it, liking it, kept us alive. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up.
It's okay. It's an emotional thing.
And I will say, coming back in London, and Layla and Fandango were there. I thought that was the first time I thought, what if they don't care? Like, what if I come out my music? Which at the time, no one knows my music. I wasn't really wrestling much. So I said, what if my music hits? I don't care. I think I got a little panicky in the back. And then when my music hit, and London's an amazing, and they love Fandango in London, the crowd went nuts. And that feeling, I don't know if you'll ever get that from a movie or get that from doing anything. I just came out and they cared and they yelled and they wanted me to see whoop Fandango's butt, Layla's butt, everyone. So for me, that was great, but then also it was short-lived. After a while, where do you go for that? Layla and I partner up, and it's kind of been a little hard for me to even get in a storyline till the Miz thing, which we pitch all the time, and eventually something will stick. And I love wrestling. It's been great on the main roster, but as of right now, there hasn't been too much of a storyline. So, yeah, maybe it's a little different maybe for guys and girls leaving and going. But for him, it seems like he keeps reinventing himself every time he comes back from a movie. And that's great.
You have to evolve. Well, the audience will get bored. The audience will not care. I mean, you look at any superstar that has made it, past the 10-year mark or even 5-year mark, they've always evolved. You can't be a one-trick pony. If you're a one-trick pony, you'll be out the door in 3 or 4 years.
And sometimes it's as simple as, probably wasn't the last time we talked, but one of the last couple of times we talked, I was talking about the fact that you were still coming out in that leather jacket, and you said, just wait. And all it took was that weird white zippery thing, and I was like, okay, this is the new Miz.
He drew backstage. You were sketching it.
Yeah, you saw me doing that, didn't you?
Yeah, I came in the production office. I had to print something out. I'm like, are you sketching? Are you worldly?
I sketched. I looked. So what I did was
I was
looked
okay,
on
Picasso, calm down. What's
New York
going on?
Fashion Week was happening, and I was looking at what the new thing was.
Like, what's Kanye West wearing?
Exactly.
I think it was Kanye.
Yeah,
it was Kanye.
I think it was Kanye. Actually, it was a cross between Kanye and there was a couple other people, but then I just started designing it, and then I went to the seamstress and I was like, "Can you make this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure."
They're like, so
easy.
It's
perfect. And then we went through a couple phases with it and find the perfect one.
Can you make another one for Sandow?
Yeah.
And it's great.
A cheaper one, too.
It was.
You should have saw it. It's a piece of junk.
It's so obnoxious.
Absolutely. That's the way a stunt double should be, though. If you're ever on set, the stunt double's clothes are not the same as the leading man's.
Yeah.
One has John Varvatos, the other one has Walmart.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like it, but we're just going to shoot from the back, or it's just going to be quick flashes. We don't need to.
I think you asked me, too. You're like, which do you hate more, if it was sleeveless or if it was not sleeveless? And I was like, oh, God, I would hate you either way. And he was like, done.
You know why it works either way? Because you're not wearing pants with it. So even if it's not sleeveless, just your legs sticking out from that, it's just
weird.
It's douchey.
Or
and it works.
When you see the guys backstage with no boots and knee pads, but in gear, freaks you out. Looks like a whole other thing. It's like a whole other thing.
It looks really bad without the boots and the knee pads.
I'll turn away. I've seen oh no, he just came out of the shower and they're in gear.
I got to tell you, when Cody Rhodes was wrestling in tights with no knee pads,
it's odd.
I was like, was he naked?
Yeah. Or Cesaro.
What is he doing? Or Cesaro, yeah.
I don't know how people do it. My knees would go.
Oh, knees are bad.
Your knees get tore up in there.
Well, that's why you don't get injured.
Exactly.
No, I don't even roll around without knee pads.
Yeah. Well, I probably wouldn't roll around at all. I don't care what kind of pads you put on me.
What would be
injured.
your finishing move?
My finishing move?
If you were in the ring.
I mean, the only thing
the pancake one,
where you flip
you put a full Nelson on and you pancake them in the face. What's that called?
Would it
Skull
be
crushing
something?
Finale.
Would it be something where you flick your hair and do some kind of hair flick to signify it's about to happen?
I don't know. It doesn't really move. Maybe I do one of those nasty boy armpit shoves, except into my hair.
Oh,
wow!
And I just wouldn't wash my hair. And that would be it. Their face would be all greasy and everything.
Yeah.
Either that or you just do a stunner, because that's my favorite move in the video game. Just kick, drop, done.
Or you do a springboard stunner. How about that?
Yeah, really? What was that?
Let's just all calm down. Yeah, that's a lot going on. I could see if Woods hadn't done the water in the hair, you could do the water in the hair and it just goes everywhere.
Yeah, it just doesn't move. Water just sits on top of my hair, though. It doesn't get absorbed into it at all. Tough Enough is coming back.
Yeah, man. How excited are you? I'm excited.
I'm trying to figure out my character to send my tape into Triple H.
60-second tape already?
Yeah, he was watching some of the entries.
I was watching one today.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Oh, watch them all day. I love it.
Wait, how do you see that?
I remember my audition. For season 2, I auditioned and they wouldn't let me audition. I tried to audition and I sent in a tape and they said, we can't take you because of you're on MTV. And back then,
it was an MTV show.
Back then you weren't allowed to be on 2 different shows on a same network.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it. So then 2 years later, they had the $1 Million Tough Enough on the CW.
Right.
Tried out again, made it, and it made my career. So if there's anyone out there,
you're the only one ever, I think, who's gone on Tough Enough and just cut the same promo throughout his career. This is the true story of when The Miz, and then you come to the main roster and you're just doing the exact same thing the whole time.
Why not?
It's amazing.
Hey,
people already knew me from the real world, so why not keep it going? And they hated me anyway.
Yeah. You know what I love? It's Tough Enough. They're putting the old seasons on the network now, and season 2 is on now. And I had no idea. I just sit there watching the tryouts because you find
gems.
You find guys.
You find real gems.
You find gems, but you also find people who actually made careers out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I think Shad from Crime Time was on Tough Enough too, and I know
How about Boogeyman? Do you remember him?
Boogeyman was on your
my
season.
favorite. He was my favorite because they were like, "How old are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm 30." And he's like, "How old are you?" "I'm 30." And they were like, "We have your license, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, and they were like, "Do you?" He was like some sort of person that he worked with kids, and he's like, "You ever teach the kids to lie?" He's like, "Never. I always tell them not to lie." And he's like, "Are you lying?" "No, I'm 30." And then he goes, "Here's your license." He goes, "I'm 40." Like, it was great.
If you're gonna lie, stick to it.
Yeah,
but man, he is a character all in himself, man, and he made it work.
He did.
Boogeyman worked for a while.
He did. And now if he shows up to shows, have you seen how he decks out when he goes to shows now?
Yes, I know.
With the scarf over his head and everything. It's like the most conspicuous thing you could ever do. I don't know why it's not just. When you watch Tough Enough now, do you do it kind of sympathetically, like, oh, I know what these guys are going through, or are you like, no, I love terrible auditions?
I love bad auditions.
You do?
But I know exactly
That's why American Idol's so successful. You want to see it.
The only way you're gonna learn is if every time I do something bad in the WWE, I learn more from it because it makes me want to try harder and work harder to make it better. Mm-hmm. I've had terrible promos. I mean, watch me on The Real World. I would cut promos all day
with a toy belt,
with a toy belt and an accent, like I was from the South,
right?
And stealing everyone's catchphrases and just they're ridiculous. They're horrible. But and she was watching one of my videos
today
from Real World. She's like, "Oh, show me one." I was like, "Here," and I had to leave.
I watched it, but I can't
watch
vividly
it. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I go, is that a country? Are you doing like JR? Like, what is that country accent?
It's like a southern version of The Rock. That's what the Miz.
This is the Miz. That's what it's. Wow, that is exactly the way it sounded.
I'll never forget.
But like yelling. Everyone thinks a good wrestling promo is yelling.
Yeah.
Like we're still back then.
Just not saying anything, just screaming words that don't make any sense.
But yeah, man, I love Tough Enough, and I think it's a great opportunity for someone that might think, man, I've always wanted to be a WWE superstar. I just don't know how. And now we're giving you the opportunity to show how.
Plus, you have to watch every episode like a hawk. On the last season of Tough Enough that Stone Cold hosted on USA, the only person on that show that came close and that has a career in WWE was the one that got voted off episode 1.
Yeah.
Because she said her favorite match was Melina versus Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold said, I just don't think she'll ever make it in the wrestling business. And she's on the main roster.
Yeah.
You
Which
never know.
She said that the other day. She goes, I'm the only person from that season still around. I was like, what? Really?
The thing is, people don't realize how hard, and even after Tough Enough, even if you win Tough Enough, how hard it is to make it on the main roster, to learn the art. We're not just, I know people in the internet are like, they're wrestlers. We're not just wrestlers anymore. Mm-hmm. We're everything. Mm-hmm. We are sports entertainers. We are entertainers. We entertain people. Yes, we wrestle in that ring, but we cut promos. We have to host. We have to do so many more than just what a wrestler is.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about before. As a matter of fact, I think WWE. Because how did you feel when on the network they decided to put your botched Divas search promo as its own show? And I know they did that because one of the first times I interviewed you, I brought it up and I put that clip in the YouTube video. The minute it was on the network, the WWE pulled that YouTube video. They were like, no, that's ours now. We have it on the network.
Yeah, of course.
But is that one of those things you embrace as your past?
No, like I said, it made me even more want to try harder, more made me want to work harder, to be better at the microphone. Then I went off and I literally would cut promos on everything. Like if I saw a stop sign, if I was stuck in traffic, I'd start cutting promos just because I wanted to get better, because I never wanted that to happen again. That was the first time that I blanked. I've never had the feeling of blanking and not knowing what to say, but it's a cold sweat that comes over you. Your mind goes blank. Yeah. You have no idea where to go, and you're out there in front of 16,000 and millions are watching at home, and all you can think about is, please give me my next line, my head, please, what is wrong with your brain?
And you're this young guy who's fresh to WWE.
I'm getting fired.
And Vince McMahon, 16,000 millions at home, but Vince McMahon is watching on a monitor 6 feet away from you.
I'm going to get yelled at. I'm going to get fired. I am done in the WWE. And then that kid that messed up all those lines main evented WrestleMania and retained the WWE.
And you have Miss TV, so now you are speaking. So, and that also speaks.
And I'm known as one of the best speakers ever.
Yeah. Is that right?
In my mind.
Oh.
I think I said right, and I was like, moving on. Anyways.
Have you ever had a moment, Summer, where you messed up and went, oh no, like that this is the most humiliating thing?
Of course. But it's good to get it out of your system when it's not on TV. This is... I felt really bad about this. Valang Fandango, him and Kofi had a match on Main Event when it was still on TV. Mm-hmm. And I had one spot. And I'm pretty solid with my spots. I got it. They go over it again. I got it. And Dango was going over, and it was for a while. It was like a double sag, and I had to. I think maybe I had to brush at his leg or something. And I went to brush, and he was a little close to me. I'm not I'll take full credit for it. And I grabbed, and the ref saw, rang the bell, and disqualified him.
What?
And I was and I look at Finte, and I think at this point he hadn't won a lot in a while, and they was finally going over, and there was this match, and they had just busted their butt for like 9 minutes, and my heart stopped. And mind you, no one else in the audience knew. No one in the arena knows. No one knows.
But you just changed the entire finish.
I think it was like the first time, like Fandango and I aren't the closest of friends, but we had a good working relationship, and it was the first time where I was like, we're getting along, and I'm like, oh no.
That was
like,
it.
Oh, that's it. So we go in the back, and I'm just like, I didn't even know what to say. I felt like I wanted to cry. Never let anyone see me cry here. So I was just like, oh no. Vince gets up and goes, I loved it. It was great. And I don't know if he knew it was a mistake or what happened. He was just like, it was great, and shook their hands, loved it. And whoever the producer, Dean Malenko was the producer. Oh my God. And we went in the back, and I'm so sorry. And I just had to apologize. The guy in Kofi was great. And I could tell Fandango was upset. And then a bunch of the boys all day kept coming up to me, you going into business for yourself? Or, what was that? And
That's helpful.
So then in my head, I'm going, he's telling everyone, like, oh no. I went outside and just completely lost it. Because that moment I was just like, that's it. Like, oh no. And I'll never forget, Bray came up to me, and he goes, do you know how bad I messed up? And he goes, no. He was like main eventing with John Cena. And he was like, and I did this thing. We had to disqualify. He told me this story, and he goes, no one ever remembered it. Because no one will remember it. Just wait next week. And I'm like...
And now you're reminding everyone.
Oh, and now I'm reminding everyone. And the next week after, I think we had to do something. And I looked at Kurt, and I go, I promise I'll be on my spot this week. And he goes, for what? And I was like... I hadn't slept in days. And it was so bad to me. And he just forgot. And I was like, oh, crap, I just brought it up again. I was like, nothing, So that was probably in front of people. But, of course, with American Dream doing our promos, sometimes you think you mess up, and Dream's like, baby, that was the best thing I've ever seen, baby.
That was the greatest.
That was my impersonation.
Amazing. It was dead on. I thought Stardust had a good Dusty Rhodes. That wasn't even...
he can't even do his dad?
Stardust did it. No, I was lying.
Pretty solid.
His was better, yeah.
But, you learn from your mistakes,
Yeah, I guess so. I mean... I've learned that you're crushing dreams by not only saying Miz is a nice guy, but Bray helped you out in a moment of weakness.
Oh, no.
Like, this is like...
Yeah. Way to open it up, Summer.
But I think the craziest part about this whole sports entertainment world is that as much as everything's a show, that these referees are told to make it legit. So, you don't... the referee can't pretend not to see it. He's like, I saw it, I got to disqualify you. It's like, why is that the only thing legit? I don't understand why the referee wouldn't be like, well, that's not the finish. I'm not going to disqualify him.
It was horrible. Hey, are you going to be hosting the new Diva Search?
Oh, yeah, that's
Is there a new Diva Search?
They're turning it into a network show.
Yes, I found out about it on the big screen at WrestleMania.
I have no idea.
We all did.
I don't know. I don't even know if they have a new
We like to be
host.
told things through the internet.
They would tell me
or in a
the
commercial.
day of or the week of. It's like, oh, I'm doing that? Okay, sure.
Right.
I think you'd be a good host.
Well, I mean, they use you for every movie now, so you'd think they'll probably...
I am the face of WWE Studios, so,
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What did you think of the NXT show? Not NXT now, but when you were on NXT as the show on Sci-Fi. And you were...
But it was definitely, weird because we would not know what's going to happen next. 1 minute I'm, going out there and slapping Daniel Bryan and him not having any idea that I'm going to do that.
Well, what did you think when you were told Daniel Bryan's going to be your rookie, and you know who Daniel Bryan is?
Like,
you know this.
Thank you. Thank you. This is going to be so much fun. Watch this, internet marks. You
So
know?
you're just gonna get heat for it.
I went on the internet and I went on a rampage about how this guy doesn't know what it takes to be a WWE superstar. He can main event bingo halls, but he can't main event WWE. Oh, it was so much fun. And then he had retaliations, and he knows he's just a very, very smart person. And we had a blast.
So when you go out and do stuff like that, you're like, I'm just going to start getting heat built up. I'm going to trash Daniel Bryan wherever I go.
Absolutely.
Does Bryan know well enough that you're just doing this to get heat, or is he like, Miz is kind of an asshole?
Either way, it's a win-win situation.
Right.
I would hope so. I think in the beginning of my career, people all thought that I was just a jerk.
Yeah.
And that's probably why things happened to me.
Right.
And so now I think people realize,
who cares? Like,
you know.
Yeah.
It's like if that's part of your story and you're working together, you have to work as a team. Last night when he held up the DVD cover, his finger was on my face, and he was purposely, and I didn't know. So we're in Gorilla, and I looked up, and I thought it was the funniest, most brilliant thing ever. I go, that's great!
Right.
Like, and I laughed, and I look up, and like 2 or 3 writers, it was hilarious. They look at me like, waiting if I'm gonna work.
Just
like,
waiting to
and
see.
I look, and I'm like, that's great, I love it. And afterwards, he's like, I don't know, maybe some people would have been mad, maybe some girls would have been mad. I'm like, but why? It's putting me over as a baby. Like, that's great.
Yeah, and it's getting attention to the movie. Like, that's something.
Yeah.
If you're just holding up a DVD, it's like, oh, it's another DVD.
It's not serious. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if that is the worst thing that happened, I love my job so much, and if that is the worst thing to happen in your day, then like, come on. Like,
but I guess also
we have a great job.
You have to be aware of this because you go on Total Divas and do every villainous thing that anybody could ever do. So you kind of have to be aware of.
It's all real.
How to?
But
every last bit.
No, people, and the internet's great about that too, because they're like, oh, we know you're not really dating Mizdow, but then it's like, how dare you talk to Daniel Bryan? It's like, what?
Yeah,
like,
I
what?
was actually. Yeah. One of you guys posted a picture today on your media day, and I think it was like the two of you, and like people were like tweeting at Miz, going, "You have a wife. What are you doing with her?" And Mizdow was by your side. You're like, all right, great.
But I'm all
fantastic.
But that's totally fine. I'm all about that. That's storyline too, and so that's where the reality show's a little different, because then it's like that's, I guess, my character, who I am, and stuff. And so it's just a little. I mean, at the end of the day, I shouldn't care either way, but. I don't know. Sometimes you have a bad day and then you read this stuff and you're like, that's so mean.
I don't feel that way.
Like, someone told me to get cancer and die last night.
That's a terrible thing to happen. Yeah, Summer, whenever you read that, I want you to think to yourself, Sam Roberts hopes that at no point, at no point in your life do you get cancer. Miz, the same for you. I don't ever want you to get cancer.
You're probably the only one. I told you were a visionary.
Yeah,
but the good thing is, like, being able to go be a star in the anti-bullying rallies. When we do go, I should take a dose of my own medicine, because I tell the kids, I go, all you have to do is block them.
Right.
You just block them.
Right.
Because these poor kids now, when I was in school, it happened. Sure, everyone gets bullied. It all happens at school, but then you can't take it home. Like, these kids can't escape it. They go home. It's on social media. It's on Twitter. It's on all the Periscope, whatever that is. All these new things. And
you can do it live on video.
Oh, that's. No, that's going to get a lot of people in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's just hard, and I guess I should block it. And sometimes it doesn't get to me, but of course it sometimes is. Yeah, I can't imagine what you get.
Oh, I get a lot.
It's brutal.
I go on my Twitter feed right now and just list them.
Do you read your replies?
Of course.
I do.
I read all my
I've
stuff.
stopped.
I love reading them because it motivates me.
It does.
It drives me. I love I just think it's.
But what about when people say about your appearance? How does that drive you? Like you have big
look
ears,
at my wife.
or you have. That's
You
true.
know what I
You
mean?
can just any punchline. You're like, look at my wife.
Look at my
What's
wife.
up?
You figured it out.
That's true.
Plus,
the most amazing woman in the world.
Also,
and
I hate when
got
people
her,
tweet me about Maryse. Like,
Boom.
Maryse is going to kill you. I'm like, I know. I'm like, stop. I'm like, stop. Stop adding her in my timeline. I don't want beef.
Does Maryse get jealous?
No.
So, because I mean, now
Maryse,
you're like,
Maryse has been in the WWE,
so she knows what it's like.
Yeah,
And
I've
that's
had
great.
like a kissing scene in Christmas Bounty, and she goes, "That's it." I go, yeah. By the way, that's my impersonation of her. It's Russian, but I don't know why.
That's almost as good as the Dusty impression.
I know,
baby.
Right? And that's my wife.
Hey,
I can't even do an
baby.
impersonation of my wife, but that's my impersonation of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like, that's it, and I'm like, yeah. She goes,
Well, actually, at the
who
end
cares?
of Marine 4, she goes, "Why didn't the girl kiss you?"
Yeah.
I thought the girl was going to kiss
I
you.
go, sorry, babe. I mean, do you want her to kiss me?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's because when she does the movie, she's ready for her close up, I'm sure.
I was watching the movie last night. I don't want to spoil what happens to Summer Rae, but it's the opposite of a kissing scene. By the way, Marine 4 you can get on DVD and Blu-ray and digital copy and iTunes and everywhere you can buy a movie.
Anywhere you can buy a movie.
You can get this movie.
What'd you think in comparison to Marine 3?
Action-packed.
More action,
There's
for sure.
a lot of guns in this movie.
A lot of guns.
It's
a lot of
basically
guns, a lot of fight scenes, a lot of car driving, like everything.
That's all it is.
I'm not going to toot my own horn, but the armorer that was on set said that my gun was way better than Miz's.
Did you go through?
I agree with you. I had
a Scorpion.
Like
I have no idea what that means.
9mm, and she has this sniper rifle.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
semi-automatic Scorpion?
Did you go through
Yes, please.
firearms training?
Yeah, we both did.
I'm from North Carolina, and surprisingly, I've never held a gun, never shot a gun. So we went through everything, but I never went live.
Right.
And then we're on his third day on set, my first ever day. And we're getting ready to shoot the scene. I was a little nervous. I have no idea. I'm leading a pack of men down these stairs while shooting and like ducking bullets. No big deal.
Probably the day she was really funny.
And no,
That
that day was not
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah.
And he goes, "It's her first day on set, ladies and gentlemen." This is embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed.
I tried to make her feel comfortable.
Welcome her in.
And so right before we start, I go, no, I haven't ever shot it. I haven't shot live. And the guy goes, "You haven't freaking shot live?" I go, "No." He goes, "All right, come with me." And so he puts, I don't know why he put my earmuffs on. We
it's
just
loud?
because we had the little gimmicks for the ear. So I could have just put this in. He goes, "All right, put the mag in." He goes, "Just open up." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Just open up to the lake." I go, "Okay." And it's the oddest thing what I did. I'm surprised I haven't told the story today. I started shooting and I started laughing like a murderer, like completely going. I started,
You filthy animal.
and I went. And I start doing this, and the guy's like, "What the heck?" Dan has it on. One of the stunt guys has it on video, and I guess it was I guess maybe when I'm nervous now, I know I laugh or giggle, and I was just nervous,
just a
but liked
psychopath.
it, and so now it may be my new thing. I may go to the fire range. Yeah, you never know.
And I'll tell you this, I would pick up the movie just because you get to hear the Miz drop a whole bunch of S-bombs.
I know. I actually get to swear for once.
It's amazing.
You know,
Which ones did he use?
What's that? I don't even
the
remember.
B word.
I used
That S word's all over it.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I say it so
very, very
naturally.
exciting.
I was actually telling her, I was like, I almost wish there wasn't because I'm not used to swearing on Raw or SmackDown. I never get to swear.
Right.
Now
you're just going to let
that's
one
reserved
fly.
for The Rock and Cena.
And
We
Summer,
only get one.
After the 10 o'clock hour.
you Summer, probably should have. I think you should have had more lines.
Oh, there's a couple more lines.
I had 'em cut.
They had a lot.
did? You're like, it's
Someone
enough.
had
Shit,
it
that's
cut.
enough.
Yeah, it's our first.
It's her first movie, not her third.
We had a couple
This
things.
is
but
my
then-
movie. I'm the lead.
But then when you watch it back, you're like, oh, I guess that scene wasn't needed. Like there were a couple things for both of us. I asked him afterwards. I'm like, does that mean it was bad? And he's like, no,
she
it's
was
just
like,
not needed.
Why did they? It just happens. It
Yeah.
happens on the cutting floor all the time. There's some gems out there that I hear actors say all the time that like, man, if you had only seen this scene, it's so funny, but it's on the cutting floor.
Right.
Yeah. And for me, I didn't even think about it like that. I was just so excited to gain that knowledge. I told him after the 4 weeks, 20 days of being on set, I was a new person. Like I knew everything. I just had this confidence, this aura about me. And my lines were in the second and third day. And I was like, oh, I'm like cringing at watching him back. Because I was like, if I could do it on the 5th week and start new and just like listen to everyone.
Right.
I was such a sponge, like a little kid. Because for us, after doing the same thing for 2-3 years, you're like, have something new. It's a challenge. That's
Right.
so exciting, especially when you're a competitive person.
Right.
And so I was like, man, I wish I could have done this again. So getting that knowledge, it's I'll always have that. I can take that with me. And if I ever get an opportunity to do it again, I can just apply it. And it was just great.
Well, I'm going to get you guys to sign a copy of the Blu-ray and the digital copy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it. We got to figure out some kind of hashtag for people to hashtag it. I'll give it away to somebody.
Marine 4.
No, that's so. But what does that do? You don't know that
People
came
to
from
win
me.
it?
Then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like you could hashtag Marine 4, I guess. But then
Hashtag
also
Marine for the Haps.
Marine.
Well, I tried to Haps.
Haps.
I really tried
Summer.
hard. I'm so funny.
You're so funny.
Oh,
She's
Summer.
so funny.
Marine
Oh,
4
Summer.
Haps.
Marine 4 Haps.
Hashtag summer is funny.
That's it. Hashtag.
It'll start trending. Vince is like, "What is this? Get her
Summer
to tell
was
jokes."
funny today.
Right.
Oh my gosh! And then I'll have to tell jokes on Raw, and I'm gonna bomb. And then I'll come on your show and tell you my real story.
Do
of
it.
Bombing.
Okay. Hashtag Marine 4. Hashtag Summer is funny. To @notsam. And of course you got to tag Summer Rae and Miz on that as well, so they know exactly where it's coming from. We'll give somebody a signed Blu-ray with a digital copy attached to it.
And they can buy one too.
And well, there's
Yeah.
only
Local
one
store.
to give away.
Yeah.
I have more than one listener, I hope.
I hope so.
Yeah, because we've been talking for a while.
Yeah,
this has
we've
been
done a
for
lot.
one
It's just
person.
not
time,
me. It's
Sam.
just not me when I'm cleaning my house.
Yeah, that's it.
We have some cool things
You're
on.
gonna be hashtagging.
Yeah, just I'm hashtagging the crap out of it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of cool things on the Blu-ray too. A lot of behind the scenes, a lot of talking that we did. We like to talk.
Excellent.
I'm
Excellent.
Anne Hathaway.
She likes to talk. I'm the James Franco.
I'm the Anne Hathaway.
Well, I feel like you've both Anne Hathaway today. You've both shined.
You think we Anne Hathaway?
I think you both were.
We've only slept for 2 hours.
fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah, we had Raw last night, and we get done, and of course we're like one of the last segments, and then we had to drive here, and we got in at like 1:30. We're up by what time were you up? 4:30 to get ready.
Yeah, but I didn't sleep. Like
The fact that you're 12 hours deep into your media day and we've had as good of a time as we have, I think I'll credit to me as an interviewer.
Yeah.
You're incredible.
This is
Just
fun.
amazing.
You're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you bringing that to
Look
the
at that.
table.
Also,
Yeah.
did you ever watch Full House?
Of course I did.
What
is
does
DJ's, What's DJ stand for?
Donna Joe.
Wow.
Donna Joe.
That's amazing because someone
Yeah, we
asked
We
that
really
question.
No one knew on VH1.
Miz,
Why
you're
are
ruining
you
the
telling-
connection.
You're ruining the game.
Oh! It'll
No one knew
air
on VH1.
Thursday at 9. Thursday.
That's
Anyway,
right. I want everybody to
so-
watch that on VH1 and realize that
We're-
Summer Rae and I are in
We're
love
doing this
deeply.
thing, and
I couldn't believe it.
Don't
No
worry,
one knew
Maryse.
it. No one knew that.
Maryse, you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
it.
there's a new dude.
We're sitting there, we're doing this thing. I knew none of the answers. He's nailing all this stuff, and then they barely said it, and I rang. You would have thought I won the main event. Yeah,
I got it.
all I'm good for, and I'll take it.
We ended
listen.
up winning.
What a great way to
Maybe.
close.
Donna Joe, we touched hands. It's official.
This was such a great time
Dango's
for
gonna
me.
be so jealous.
Miz,
This was the best interview you've ever had.
It was.
Besides
Whoa.
the first time we had an interview.
I don't know. I feel like Summer added a bit.
Oh,
Summer
he'll
added
never
a
give me
lot.
that.
Especially that
No,
end thing
she's
just
not
then.
that funny.
Really
She's
happened.
not that funny.
Miz, I think Summer's hilarious.
Hashtag Summer's funny.
Summer is funny if you want the Blu-ray. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Thank you for having us
Thank
once
you.
again. Always a pleasure.
Always.
I love the WWE universe.
Obviously.
It's like-